What is up, guys? Johnny B here again today, and we're going to be bringing you another video on the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 10 that we've been countlessly fixing because it keeps breaking on us. And looks like we have another issue because my brother just brought it in to do some work to it. Wait, it's not broken? It's not broken this time? It's not broken? 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 I guess it's not broken. So I guess we're gonna be upgrading it this time instead of fixing it. So that's really good news. Let's go ahead and upgrade it. So for the upgrade slash mod that we're gonna be doing to the Evo is we're gonna be installing a new flex fuel sensor so we can run, ethanol or E85 and still be able to run 91 gas. And then on top of that, it's gonna come with an Innovate gauge. So that's gonna be cool because we're gonna be able to tell, what ethanol content we're gonna be running in the Evo. And that's gonna help boost the Evo from 400 horsepower where it sits now to up to like 500 horsepower, which is what the stock block can handle. And it's still gonna be, within safe parameters. The previous owner was actually running, I believe like 100 octane gas to push 500 horsepower on like 30 pounds of boost. But we wanna be able to run it, with just regular pump gas, be running ethanol. And, just have like the economy of having cheaper fuel and having, we have them here locally, we have a lot of gas stations where we can get E85. So it's not that big of an issue for us. And it's gonna smell good too. So that's one of the reasons why we're gonna be doing this. So it's a simple kit. It comes with a flex fuel sensor. It comes with some wiring, some hoses to hook up, the fuel lines. And then we can get the Evo tuned finally after all the mods that we've done. So we started off by removing the rear seat, and then right underneath the rear seat behind the driver's seat, there is this little panel that you just go ahead and pop up. It's just kind of like glued on, so you can just pull it up and it'll pop right out. So what we're gonna need to do is we're gonna need to remove this sensor clip. We're gonna need to remove this fuel line. And the way you remove it is by using like little picks and popping out the sides so that way we don't break it. Kind of make it a little bit safe. You see how I popped that out just by pulling it out? I'm gonna be using another little pick to kind of like hold this piece up while I pop the little sides out. There's probably an easier method to do this, but I'd rather not risk it and break this piece because then we won't be able to lock our fuel line anymore. So there we go, that popped out, and then we just gotta push this out. Fuel line's out. It's gonna leak out a little bit of fuel, but it's not gonna be anything too crazy. And then for this sensor right here, we're gonna go ahead and push on this little clip right here, and you're gonna see it pop straight up. And once that pops out, then you can go ahead and unplug the sensor. So we're gonna be needing this sensor to plug into our new harness that came included in the kit. Just make sure you orient it the right way, but there's not really a wrong way. It has a little line down here, so once you put that on, you gotta make sure to put the little pin that we took out back on. And you just kind of like wrap it around there, and then we're gonna go ahead and push it back on. Just make sure that it's all in properly. And there we go, that's plugged in. So now we're gonna be plugging in our flex fuel sensor. You're gonna wanna take your flex fuel sensor, take off the end caps. We're gonna clip the one end into the OEM fuel line, clip it down, and then we're gonna take another end from our kit, and we're gonna go ahead and clip that in as well. There we go. And then part of the harness has this connector here, which is gonna be our flex fuel sensor connector. You're gonna plug that in. And then the other end of this same hose that we got with the kit is gonna plug straight into the fuel pump, just like it was before. So we just gotta try to make this fit in there nice and tidy, so that way, everything fits good and there's not gonna be any issues. So we can put the flex fuel sensor kind of down here underneath the car, to kind of get it out of the way, like that. And then this hose, I think I'm gonna route it underneath this little breather hose, or I think it's the return line. And then we're gonna go ahead and clip it back in. It's kind of hard to do that. There we go. That's all clipped in. So it kind of does like a little loop. You got your sensor over there. Everything's plugged in. So this is pretty much how the setup's gonna look. It's very simple. Obviously the only thing we're doing is putting in the flex fuel sensor in between this line, and we're using this line to kind of like reroute the fuel. And then obviously this sensor here just gets plugged in. And then this other connection just plugs in straight to the sensor. So the only thing that we got to do now is go ahead and zip tie it. We can zip tie it just to make sure that these cables aren't dangling around making noise, and you know, stuff is staying a little bit stable, so that way it doesn't get unplugged for some reason, or they start rubbing on something and then it just like eats through the hose, and then you have a fueling issue, which would be pretty dangerous. So if we could just get it all like connected together, then we know that stuff isn't going to be moving around back here. That way we don't have to worry about it later on. Make sure everything's nice and snug, because that way look, the flex fuel sensor isn't going to be like moving all over the place. And we could do it in multiple areas depending on how you feel comfortable. I'm probably just going to do these just to make sure that they're not moving around too much. That way we don't break a line, because that would be bad later on. And then come through, snip these off. There we go. So that's the setup for back here. Obviously you can clean it up if you want. There's not really much that's going to happen. This won't really mess with anything, because this is just an electrical connection, so there's not going to be any extra, you know, gas fumes back here. And then the rest of the harness, we have to route it all the way to the front, because on this harness is the connector for the gauge. So that's the only reason why we have to route forward, but pretty much done back here. So that the cable is not interfering with the cover, we're going to go ahead and route the cable straight through the area where the grommets at, where the original power cable for our fuel pump goes. That way it just makes the job look a little bit cleaner. It's not necessarily, but it's just something that I like to do to make the job look a little bit nicer. I cut a little bit of a slit in the grommet, just enough to where we can kind of force the connector through. You can see there. And then once we get it through, the rest of the hose is going to kind of like clamp down on that rubber, so that would it creates a nice seal. Just be careful with when you're pulling the wire so you don't tear it up. There, and then just put the grommet back in. That way we have a nicer seal for this cover, and it kind of looks like it's, you know, something factory. There we go. To remove the center console, there's two 10mm bolts right here, or you know, there could be other bolts there in your case, and then you can go ahead and pull on the cup holder and it actually just pops right off. There's a cable here that you can unplug to move it out of the way. And then there are two bolts here that are two Phillips screws actually. You take those off, you can pull on the shift boot, but before that you have to go ahead and take off your shift knob, and then this whole piece will come out. As you can see, the wiring ran straight through here. This is the actual wiring, and then we ran it through. We actually mounted the Innovate gauge back there for the E85 because we didn't want to have to make a whole like cluster for it, or we don't have a tripod or anything like that. So what we ended up doing is mounting it right there. The gauge actually has two bolts coming out the back, so I just drilled two holes and some holes for the cable, and it's actually really solid right there. It doesn't even move. To get to that spot and be able to drill that out, we went ahead and removed this AC unit. And to remove the AC unit, you have to remove this little like nice panel right here. So what you can do is you pop it up here and this will pop right out. And then down here on this side, there's like a little panel that you can pop out, and there's a bolt under here that bolts this whole piece together. So once you pop this out, you can open this and kind of just like pull on this, and you can see the bolt right there without having to remove this whole panel. I unbolted it and then just clipped this whole piece off. And then there's two bolts right on top of this right here that you can go ahead and unbolt. And then once all this is removed, I think there's two more bolts right here underneath this piece, and this whole piece will come out. Obviously you're gonna have to unplug some stuff, and then that's what we did to route the cable. It plugs right into the gauge, and then the gauge, if you look down here to the side, we still gotta power it. So all we really need is a ground and a power wire, and we actually have already found where there is a power that goes off and on with the switch, and then just any random ground. With that, we'll be able to power that, and the gauge is obviously going to be reading off of the flex fuel sensor. So it's pretty easy to wire that up. We're going to be doing that later on because it's getting kind of dark, but we just wanted to show you guys where we placed the gauge.